What's up, everybody? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays. For this Tuesday, March 26, 2024, I am your host, Russ Williams. I'm so glad you could be here, ladies and gentlemen, Transition Army. Ladies and gentlemen, Transition Army, I know you could have been anywhere in this world today. I know you could have been anywhere in this world today, but you decided to be here with me. And I appreciate that. And more importantly, I appreciate you. So welcome to Transition Tuesdays, my friends. We have an action-packed show once again. But before I start the show, I always like to state my intentions. And my intention is to give you the opportunity to laugh, smile, think, and engage in honest conversations about your life's transitions. So that's what we do here on Transition Tuesdays. That is what we do here on Transition Tuesdays. And I will be remiss if I don't give a happy belated birthday to the King of Harlem, my big brother. That is the one and only Mr. Ellis Williams. Man, so happy birthday, man. Happy belated birthday, big bro. I appreciate you. I love you. And I hope you had a great day, man. I hope you had a great day. Let me give you some applause, some soul claps, man. I need to give my brother some soul claps for having another birthday here. Man, it's amazing. It's incredible. It's incredible when you celebrate birthdays, when you get a chance to celebrate in general. You know, it's always a great thing. It's always a great thing to do so. So I salute you, King of Harlem. I salute you, brother. Love you, my man. Love you, love you, love you. Man. So, ladies and gentlemen, Transition Army, let's get after it. Let's get into it, too, as well. And I'll be shouting out people as they come on the broadcast. You know, that's what we do here on Transition Tuesdays. That's what I do as your beloved host. I shout you out when you come on. When you come on, I shout you out, you know. Newbies or what have you, I'll shout you out. So let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen, Transition Army. The field of 64 teams for both the 2024 men's and women's NCAA basketball tournament has now been reduced to 16 teams apiece, hence the Sweet 16 for both the men and the women. So on the men's side, I'm going to deal with the men's and the women's, but on the men's side, here are the matchups and my predictions for victory, okay, during these games. All righty, let's see if anybody's checking in yet. Nobody just yet, and that's cool. All right, so we got number 6 Clemson against number 2 Arizona. Now, this is going to be a great game. I mean, Clemson had a great game when they beat Tennessee. They had a great performance, so they won that game. And Arizona has been playing very well, too, with the guy Caleb Love, the transfer from North Carolina. So this is going to be a highly contested game, I believe, and I think Arizona will survive barely. They're going to win this game. Then the next game after that is number 4 Alabama versus number 1 North Carolina. Now, North Carolina is really riding on a high. They're playing very well after losing to NC State in the ACC tournament. But they're playing very well as a number 1 seed, and they're going against Alabama. Alabama's always been athletic. Those are long, athletic guards, forwards, and managers. These guys are just long players, man, and they can cause a problem for North Carolina, I believe, athletically. But I think the experience of North Carolina will win out, and I think North Carolina wins this contest. So both of these teams will be playing in the Elite Eight, which will be Arizona and UNC, University of North Carolina. And I believe, and again, it's going to be a tough game. And hey, if this shakes out, you got Arizona playing against UNC. Caleb Love, former player at UNC, still has ties with the program. I would imagine big time. He was kind of like the fall guy, I believe, when he was at UNC. They got him the ball in bad positions at USC. The shot going down, then they gave it to him, so he has to take a terrible shot. And his shot selection was in question as well at UNC. But I think if you have this game to go to the Final Four, I believe University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill wins that game and they go to the Final Four. So that should be a good game. It should be a great game. That should be an absolutely great game. Then next, you have number 5 San Diego State versus number 1 UConn. Now, if this game is going to take place, this is a rematch of last year's championship won by UConn. Last year's championship game won by UConn. San Diego State, again, athletic, They play their D. They play hard, rugged D. So does UConn as well. UConn has a little bit more scorers and more experience, and I believe UConn is on a mission to repeat. They are playing well. I think they have a better team this year than they had last year. They just basically ran through the NCAA tournament as well, and they're playing well right now. So I believe they win that game again. They beat San Diego State again. Then you got number 3, Illinois versus number 2, Iowa State. Now, this is a tough matchup, 3 against a 2. Kind of like a pick'em game. And I know number 3 on Illinois, is it pronounced Illinois or Illinois? I'm not sure, but number 3, the lefty kid, athletic kid. They got some shooters on that team, Illinois. They play tough, solid defense. They're well coached against Iowa State. Now, Iowa State, they got some dogs as well. They got guards, forwards. They travel too, man. That crowd with for Iowa State, they travel for the game. It's going to be like a home game for them. I don't even know where this game is being played, but it will be a home game for Iowa State because those people show up, and they show up in masses. So I think Iowa State is going to win that game. So going into the Elite Eight, you're going to have UConn versus Iowa State. Well-contested game. But I think UConn wins that game, and then they advance to the Final Four. And this will be their second Final Four in as many years as well. 2 years, in which they will go to the Final Four. Then, so you got those two on that side of the bracket. So now the other matchups for Friday's games, right, go as follows. The number 11 seed, you know that number 11. Look at that number 11 up there. You know the number 11, the guys wearing that. You know how I have an affiliation for the number 11. And you have number 11, NC State, the Cardiac Pack. These guys are, man, they are just pulling it out. They won the ACC tournament. They won 5 games. They won 7 games in like 12 days. So now they got some rest now. And they're a number 11 seed as well. So again, you know how I feel about number 11 seeds, right? They're going up against the number 2 Marquette Warriors. Marquette is a very good team. I love Shaka Smart. I like his enthusiasm. He says everything is involved with energy. Oh, my God. And this guy is a prime example of that. Great coach. I think one of the best coaches there are in the NCAA. The teams remaining as well. Man, so this is going to be a nip and tuck game, I believe. But again, NC State, man, they got this destiny thing going on, I think, man. So I think NC State wins this one in a close decision. Too much of the kid Burns, which I'm not sure if I told you guys, but Burns is a cousin of mine. Did you guys know that? It's a cousin of mine. My mom alerted me about that. He was a cousin on my dad's side. So he's a cousin of mine. So I got to root for the home team. I got to root for the team, the whole team. And again, you just can't stop at 11 seed. You just can't stop an 11 seed. That's the way that go down, okay? So you got that game. So I got NC State winning that game against Marquette. Then you got the number 4 team, Duke Blue Devils, playing against the number 1 seed, the Houston Cougars, who survived the scare of the Houston Cougars. Man, they came up big. They're gonna defend you. They're gonna defend you from the outside of the door. Probably in the parking lot, they're gonna start defending you. Hard-nosed bunch of kids. They go hard. They coach. Go hard. They go hard for the coach. Man, that's gonna be a slugfest. But I know for a fact, I believe personally, this is my belief. I believe that Houston will win this game. This is another team that kind of like on a mission when they lost that Big 10 championship, Big 12 championship. I believe they were on a mission, and I believe they win that game. So, in the Elite Eight, you have NC State versus Houston. Now, if this shapes up, this will be a rematch of the 1983 championship game, which Jimmy Valvano, North Carolina State Wolfpack, beat Akeem Olajuwon, Guy Lewis's team, University of Houston. Okay, that was the cardiac kids, they were calling them, man, in 83. So you might get this game. But I think it's going to be a different outcome, ladies and gentlemen, Transition Army. I think the University of Houston is going to win that game if they play NC State. And they're going to move on to the Final Four. Then our last group of games is number 5, Gonzaga, okay, against the number 1 team, the Purdue Boilermakers. So the Bulldogs here at Gonzaga, man, they've been like underrated this year. You know, they're not a number one seed like they normally are. Usually they're kind of flying under the radar. They didn't win their conference. They lost the championship game in the conference tournament. They've been flying under the radar, but they're playing very well. And they're going against a number one Purdue Boilermaker team by Zach Edey, who's going to be the player of the year. Like Coach Lappin said, and shout out to Coach Lappin who gave Caitlin Clark a Lappy Award for the best player in the country, male or female. I still hold that to be evident as well. But again, Edey is the player of the year. He's going to be the two-time player of the year, back-to-back years. A number of players have done. I believe Ralph Sampson did that. I believe Bill Walton did that as well. So he's going to be in great company. So he should win that. And I think they're going to win that game against Gonzaga as well. So I believe Purdue will win that game. Then the next game is the number 3, the Creighton Blue Jays, play against the number 2 Tennessee Volunteers, right? The number 2 Tennessee Volunteers. So, man, let me tell you, boy. Let me just tell you, Creighton is a very good team out of the Big East. Very good team. Very, very good team. And the Tennessee Volunteers, they're led by that kid Connect, who was the player of the year of the SEC. Right now, they're playing well. It's going to be a defensive struggle, I think, on both teams and both sides of the coin. But I think Creighton, with their experience, now keep in mind, Creighton almost went to the Final Four last year. It was a possession away from going to the Final Four last year. So I think they're hungry, and I think Creighton wins that game. So in the Elite Eight, when Purdue faces Creighton, okay, you got a matchup of the two big guys, okay? The two big guys. Man, it should be epic, but I think Creighton has enough because, again, I think they're hungry. They want to get to a Final Four because they never experienced it. Creighton beats Purdue, the number 1 seed, to go to the Final Four. So my Final Four men's teams are as follows. University of North Carolina, UConn, Houston, and Creighton. Those are my 4 teams to win and come out of the Sweet 16 to go to the Final Four. What do you guys think? The guys who are on the mic here. What do you guys think? Are my predictions good? I think they're good. All right? So that covers the men's team. So now let's talk about on the women's side, which I've been excited. Let me just tell you this really quick, Transition Army. I've been so excited watching these games because, again, on the women's side, there's more star power. Got some great players. You got great coaches as well. Man, I've been really digging this, this NCAA tournament on the women's side as well. I mean, this March Madness on the women's side. And did you know that back in the days, they couldn't even use the word March Madness, the women? But now they can now. I guess the NCAA struck up a deal with that, I guess. I don't know. But on the women's side, here are the matchups and my predictions for victory. Okay? So you have the number 2 team, the Notre Dame Fighting Irish. They play against the Oregon State, the Beavers. That's right, Oregon State Beavers, right? So I know a lot of mascots, so I pride myself in knowing all these mascots. People want to test me, throw out a school out there. I could probably name the mascot, right? But I digress, right? So you got the number 2, Notre Dame, against number 3, Oregon State. Now, Notre Dame has a freshman who is nice. I just don't know her name offhand, but she is nice. And I think she will propel them to victory here. Then you got the number 1 South Carolina Lady Gamecocks playing against the Indiana Lady Hoosiers, the number 4 team. Now, South Carolina has been on a roll. They've been on a mission. They've been undefeated. They're playing well. They're taking care of business. And I don't see anything changing against the University of Indiana, as I believe South Carolina will win that game. So both of these teams, Notre Dame and South Carolina, will be playing in the Elite Eight. And South Carolina comes around and wins that game and goes to the Final Four, right? So that's one pairing there. Next, you got the number 2 Stanford Cardinal against the North Carolina State Lady Wolfpack. Okay, the number 3 North Carolina State women, NC State. Okay, So, and again, you got the men and women in the Sweet 16, man. Shout out to the North Carolina State University, man. Oh my God, and the community, man. I know they're in high heaven. So, I believe, even though Tyra Vandermeer, she's the all-time winningest coach, the number 2 seed, but I think NC State is on a roll as well on the women's side. I believe NC State is going to win. Again, shout out to my guy Ernie Myers, who I had on Transition Tuesdays, who was on that 83 team when he won a national championship, and I believe he does the women's broadcasting there as well. So shout out to my guy Ernie Myers. Man, shout out to my guy, a Transition Tuesday alum. Okay, just saying. All right? And he tells me NC State is going to win that game. Then you got the number 1, the Lady Longhorns, versus the number 4 team, Gonzaga. Again, another team in the Sweet 16. Another school in the Sweet 16 on the men's and women's side, the Lady Bulldogs. So, I got Gonzaga beating the number 1 team, Texas. I saw that team Gonzaga play last night. Man, I stayed up and watched that game. So, I think they can do it. So, you have both teams here going to the Elite Eight. North Carolina State versus Gonzaga on the women's side. And guess what? An upset here. Gonzaga, I got them winning and going on to the Final Four. Right? So we got 2 more pairings now. Now you got the number 3 LSU Lady Tigers versus the number 2 UCLA Lady Bruins. Man, a 3 versus a 2, just like in the previous with the men I talked about. It's a pick 'em. That's a pick 'em. And again, you can't mess with, I don't think you can mess in this round. I don't know if you can mess with the LSU Tigers. I know they're going through some controversy, some stuff with the coach, all these things. Their best player, Angel Reese, her behavior. Some people have been commenting on that. And shout out to, those people who I know who played the game, made some comments about Angel Reese. But hey, you can do that because you played the game, ladies. We were talking about that conversation. So you can do that because you were there, you played, and you played in the tournament too. So you have an opinion on it, what you did, what you have said. Okay? And that shout out to my good friend Mel. I call her Mel. That's Ellen Doherty. Shout out to her, man. She has some opinions about Angel Reese, but she can say that because she played the game. She went to the tournament. She can say what she can say anytime, anywhere, especially here on Transition 2. She can say that, okay? So, LSU, I got LSU winning that game, and I hope and I'm a little biased because my youngest daughter, goes to LSU. So hopefully, Anissa, if you're watching, why don't you head to that game? You can get to that game. You and your other students, enjoy your time in college. Go to that game. So I got LSU winning that game. Then the next game I have, next pair of games is number 1 Iowa Lady Hawkeyes, Caitlin Clark, of course, against the number 5 Colorado Lady Buffaloes. So again, Iowa almost lost that game. Matter of fact, they almost lost that, the round of 32 game at home. Caitlin Clark breaks another record. So again, in these tournaments, you're usually going to have, on your run to win the whole thing, you're going to have a game or two. It's going to be a little bump in the road. It's going to be really tough. And maybe that was that game that they just had. So I backed them, the Iowa Hawkeyes, Lady Hawkeyes, beating Colorado. And so for the Elite Eight, going to the Elite Eight, to the Final Four, LSU Lady Tigers, Iowa Lady Hawkeyes. Now again, if this matchup occurs, this was last year's championship game, which LSU won, okay, by MVP Angel Reese. Remember You Can't See Me, right? The Tony Yayo. It's not even John Cena. Tony Yayo came up with that first, ladies and gentlemen. Look that up, all right? So again, everybody remembers that. So again, those 2 teams playing in the Elite Eight, and I got Caitlin Clark and the Iowa Lady Hawkeyes getting their revenge. I got them winning that game. Sorry, Nisa. Sorry. But I got them winning that game, the Iowa Hawkeyes, going on to the Final Four. Okay? I got them winning that game. Aha! And on the check-in from Rockville, Maryland, from The Rock, we got Felicia on the check-in and is in the building. What's going on, Felicia? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays. Welcome, welcome, welcome. As Felicia says, games, and more games. Absolutely. We got to keep watching the games. Miss Sweetness, you know that. You love the shirt? Yes. You should love the shirt, and I appreciate the gift. And the W basketball, it can stand for Williams basketball as it is today. But thank you, Felicia. Thank you for joining us here today. I appreciate you, as always. Right? So, we got the Iowa Hawkeyes, Lady Hawkeyes, going to the Final Four. Then our last round of games is Southern California, was known as USC, playing against their number 1 seed. They struggled yesterday, but they came on top and they wound up going away. They played the number 5 Baylor Lady Bears, right? I think USC with Juju Watkins. Oh my God, this girl is incredible. And she's only a freshman too. So we'll be seeing her for 3 more years in these commercials. You seen the commercial she had with Embiid? Man, she is just tearing it up, man. So I got USC winning that game. Then you got number 3, UConn. The girl Paige is nice as well. She's really nice. She's healthy. She is nice. And you got against the number 7 Duke Lady Blue Devils. Man, Kyra Lawson has done a great job there at Duke. And I got Duke, the number 7 seed, beating UConn. All right? So the Elite 8 game I have is USC versus Duke. And I got USC. Too much Juju Watkins and too much Forge. I forget number 25. She's nice. She's nice as well. Her brother was nice too, played at St. Mary's. They went to the tournament as well. Too much of those ladies, they're going to take care of business. They get to the Final Four. So my Final Four women's basketball teams, I have University of South Carolina, Gonzaga, Iowa, and USC. So, ladies and gentlemen, Transition Army, take that to the bank, book it. I'm telling you, you want to win some money? Run this tape back, pick up your picks, take the picks, and you're good to go. And speaking of good to go, we got Dolores is in the building on the check-in. What's going on, Dolores? Welcome to Transition Tuesdays. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So yeah, man, oh man. So tell you, it's going to be exciting. And again, I've been really excited watching the women play. More star power. These women can ball out, man. Again, these women can ball out. I'm really feeling the women's team. Pause as I say, okay. But I'm really digging it. I'm really digging the women playing here in this tournament, man. I can name more women stars and coaches than I can do in the men's side. That's a good thing. It's a great thing. So it's been a great tournament. It's been an absolutely great tournament. Man. So, ladies and gentlemen, Transition Army, if we were able to make you laugh, smile, and think during this broadcast, my good friends, you have accomplished something major today. So celebrate your victory. Celebrate your victory. You got here today. That's a celebration, right? So celebrate your victory. Celebrate your victory. As I get my things together, as we're going to head out of here. And the guy needs theme music, right? I need my theme music, right? Just pull that up here. But seriously, celebrate your victory. Change it. Ladies and gentlemen, celebrate your victory. So important to do. I'm telling you. Here we go. Can you guys hear that? Can you guys hear that music? Oh. Okay. We can't hear the music, but that's okay. We still continue on, all right? So, ladies and gentlemen, Transition Army, hey, I want to thank you for the bottom of my heart for watching Transition Tuesdays each and every Tuesday. I want to thank you guys, okay? Thank you for the bottom of my heart, okay? You can watch this show and our past shows on our YouTube channel, Transition Tuesdays, okay? So when you're on the channel, please make sure you like and subscribe. Please make sure you like and subscribe, okay? And also, you can follow me on Instagram, or as the young people say, IG. You can follow me at Russ Will Transitions. That's Russ Will Transitions with an S. If you follow me, I'll follow you back. Okay, make sure you do that. Is anybody else checking in on? Let me just see what people are saying. Felicia says, I didn't see any of the games, but I provided all the snacks over the weekends. Yes, Miss Sweetness did do that. I have to contest to that. She did. She didn't see a game, but I saw 16 games on Friday, 16 games on Thursday, Friday, 8 games on Saturday, Sunday. Okay? So now it's going to be 4 games on Thursday and Friday. All right? And then 2 games Saturday and Sunday. Okay? That's the way that goes. But I can contest to that. And I appreciate you, Miss Sweetness. I appreciate you. Okay? So also I want to talk about our corporate sponsor, which happens to be Sweet Candy Cafe, home of Southern Sweetness, in downtown Lumberton, North Carolina. So before the show ends, we're about to end shortly. But before the show ends, please, or after the show ends, okay, make sure you go to sweetcandycafe.com to order your confectionery goodies, okay? Miss Dolores can contest to that. She ordered, okay? You should too. Your taste buds will thank you. So make sure you do that, okay? Make sure you go to sweetcandycafe.com. So ladies and gentlemen, Transition Army, as we say in parting, happy transitioning, and we'll speak to you soon. Take care, everybody. God bless. And also, I'll be remiss, before we leave, I'll be remiss, man, our thoughts and prayers go out to those victims. I know they're still looking for these people who was in that fatal bridge accident in Baltimore. Man, our thoughts and prayers for myself and the host of Transition Tuesdays. Our thoughts and prayers go out to all the families and everybody affected. So, okay, again, happy transitioning, you guys. Okay, God bless.